I was inspired to do a quick fireside chat. The history shows in the U.S. that Franklin D. Roosevelt, back in 1933, did his first fireside chat to be able to inform people, over the radio, mind you, of what was happening with the economic crisis. Well, here I am at this location who actually was built back in the 1920s, and it's like going back in time. And I was always intrigued by this notion of a fireside chat, and what he believed was that if we actually spent time talking about some of the issues to learn more about why things were happening, that we could be more informed and make better choices in our life. So that's my message today. I want to invite you to do your own fireside chat. The reality is that we each get sometimes caught into this belief that we don't have time. And I want to suggest to you that we don't have time not to have time. It's a matter of reframing the way we have a relationship with time. And it was a lesson that I learned many years ago. Anytime I found myself saying I don't have time, I reframe it. I stop, I pause, and I reflect about what's happening, because if I believe I don't have time, I won't have time. So instead, I say things like, I have time for the important things. I'm able to do the right things at the right time in the right way. And I began to almost play this game with myself to reframe my relationship with time. And I want to encourage you to do the same. Because the reality is that there are some belief systems out there that we have been handed since we were children. And it's no longer true. Probably wasn't even true when it started for many of them. So ask more questions about why do you do what you do. Start conversations with your family members. Start conversations with your friends. And the last thing I want to mention to you is, as I recognize when you go through a metamorphosis, a transformation in your life, many times the people around us sometimes don't want these conversations, and I get that. So I encourage you to find some people that do. There are a lot of women out there, me included, you included, that's why you're listening to this video, that know there's something more. There's a new reality waiting to be birthed by each of us so that we can collectively start to live in a very different place. It's going to seem a little bit challenging as we go through some changes. The old is going to pass away and the new is going to be reborn. So that's why I wanted to let you know that even though sometimes things may feel like the fire, there's a lot of warmth on the other side. I invite you to have your own fireside chats. So here I'm reporting to you from a building built in the 1920s, because you, my sweet sisters, and I have a chance to make a whole new reality. Sending much love.